Item number: YOS-2766. Object class: Euclid, previously safe. Threat level: guarded. Containment procedures: YOS-2766 is to be contained in a 3-meter containment cell, standing on a 2-meter rectangular table. Testing must only be approved by doctor. Only 2 researchers and 1 D-class are to enter YOS-2766's cell. Instructions are to be noted for the single D-class. Activation of YOS-2766 must not be triggered when not for testing. Upon a request for the D-class, they are to cautiously touch YOS-2766 to trigger its effect. After the subject's transformation, they must wear a different size of D-class uniform. No one is to touch YOS-2766 about 15 to 20 times every 14 hours. Upon touching it about 15 to 20 times, the affected subject is to be terminated after the end of the side effects. After the event of Incident 2766.10, the cell must be fully locked at all times. Description: YOS-2766 resembles a 2-meter-tall pink vase. The inside of the object is a pitch-black dark void. Where it got this is currently unknown. Upon putting something inside, the object tends to disappear. The date it was created is unknown. It is assumed to be created in the early 1700s or 1800s. YOS-2766 reacts with physical contact with human subjects. YOS-2766 has smoke within its structure, and can only exit out the mouth if physical contact is made. If a human subject comes into contact with the object, they will experience changes to their physical body. An unknown source of pink smoke will immediately come out of the object and immediately affect the subject. It will change their body shape, either thin, thick, bigger, or muscular, or a change in gender. It cannot be reversed in any way, and will always gain this shape. Exposure 1. Exposure 2. A female D-class, D1071, was sent into the cell. She was asked to touch the surface of YOS-2766. Subject hesitates for a second before touching it. After physical contact was made, a puff of pink smoke comes out the item's mouth hole, and the D-class's breast significantly expands. She was then asked the second time to touch the object. She refused to do this, but was forced to do it. Upon touching it again, a puff of smoke appeared again, and her thighs expanded. The test ended. Addendum 2766.1. Multiple members of D-class personnel were tested with YOS-2766, and their body changed almost immediately, or caused little effect. After the effect went off, they tapped it repeatedly, and one Class D's shape altered heavily. See Incident 2766.10 for details. Incident 2766.10. A test was set with one male Class D, and was warming up to touch it. After the warm-up he touched it almost instantly. After this, instead of pink smoke coming out, black and white smoke exited in the shape of a skull. The object's structure becomes darkened with red cracks forming, and the subject's body altered heavily, as he begins to bleed and his limbs and torso contorting to impossible angles. The test was paused immediately and the subject was terminated. Addendum 2766.10.03. The same female Class D was tested with YOS-2766, while it was emitting smoke from its mouth, and smoke on the ground. Once she touched the object, the smoke disappeared. Then the subject's body changes, her breasts expanded again, ripping off the uniform with them exposed. Then all of a sudden, a large beam of smoke exits and creates a whirlwind. The D-class was no longer seen again. Once she returned, she explained that she was in an Egyptian-type location, and was accompanied by 3 humanoid females, designated as YOS-2766-1. They were clothed in yellowish wraps of paper towels, and they wore a crown with white dresses. They replaced her D-class uniform with a headband and a white dress. They then encountered an unknown entity who touched her. She was then transported to an area with an ancient table and had a baby covered in the white cloth while a single spotlight was shining down. She then sees a strange dark and humanoid creature while the spotlight is shutting off and on. She then quickly took the baby from the creature who is probably attempting to harm the infant. She then comforts the baby and is instantly blasted with a large pink beam, which sends her back to the entity's area. The entity then sends her back to the containment area of YOS-2766 using its abilities. The subject was then removed from the room and site members replaced her ancient clothes with D-class uniform, and the metallic objects were secured by multiple lasers. But the objects were self-transporting themselves back to the subject. Addendum 2766.11. After Site-17 was destroyed by Chaos Insurgency 45, the status of YOS-2766 is currently unknown.